What's up guys, Shockwave640 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the LEGO Bionicle 2002 or 2004, I don't remember if it's 2002-2004, but these are the VAHKI. This is the full set of 6. They are the robotic law enforcers on Metru Nui. If you know anything about Bionicle, that is one of the many islands that the universe takes place on, but these are the robotic police officers, basically. So each of them individually, they do have their own powers and unique traits, but other than that, they are all pretty much the exact same thing. And this video is going to be done in 3 sections. We're going to go over articulation and accessories, we're going to go over details, and then we're going to go over their transformation, because they do have a little bit of a transformation, sort of. So first off, we're going to get through their names and their powers. So first up, the red one is New Rock. He has these staffs of command, which are the little things in his hands there. They basically allow him to take control over just about anybody or anything and make them do whatever he would want them to do, or whatever it would want them to do, which is really, really good for a law enforcer. So next one is the black one, which is Rorzok. He has these staffs of presence, which basically allow him to peer into anything's mind and see what they've seen, smelt what they've smelt, tasted what they've tasted, and heard what they've heard, and just about anything else in between from any kind of given time, which is a little bit overpowered when you think about it, but I mean, law enforcers, it makes sense. But that's what these staffs of presence do. The next one is the green one right here, which is Vorzok. He has these staffs of erasing, which basically takes away a person's mental functions and gives them just basic motor functions, so they eventually become an empty shell or a zombie, which is basically, I'm assuming, is probably just to stop people from running or whatever other reasons they would need that. Right over there is Bordok, the blue one. It has these staves of loyalty, which basically it uses them on any Matoran or Toa, and they would give up any information they knew about just about anything that they know, like the hidden locations of thieves or criminals or whatever else, or including themselves as well. So right over here, the brown one, that is Zadok. He has these staves of suggestion, which basically makes anybody one of the most gullible people in the world, and you could basically tell them to do anything and they would do it to their best of their ability. It's very similar to the staffs of command, except the staffs of command, they don't have a choice. That one, they kind of would have a choice, but not really. They would just be easier to talk them into doing something without seeming forceful. So that one would be more forceful. So it's like a good guy, good cop, bad cop kind of thing between these two guys. And then in the back, the white one, we have Kirok. Kirok has these staves of confusion, which basically make anybody or anything completely lose their sense of time and place. So they're just kind of standing there completely lost and oblivious to whatever the heck just happened around them. So that one's kind of funny. I think for me, anyways, the most useful ones are probably Rorzok's staves of presence, maybe the staves of erasing. Those would probably be pretty good, and then the one of these two. One of these two definitely have some pretty good ones too. So what we're gonna do first, to go over the articulations, they all do have the exact same articulation. I'm actually gonna set off to the side a few of them, just because we're only gonna be taking a look at 3 different ones for different parts of this review. The first one is going to be, here, let's get them all out of the way. First one's going to be Zadok, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Get Kirok out of here. So as I set all of them off to the side, just so they are out of the way, let's take a look at the details and whatnot of this guy right here. So before we actually get into that, we're going to take a look at the size comparisons. So it's kind of adjusting the camera a little bit. These guys are a lot bigger than they look. They look like they'd be standard action figure sized, which I guess they sort of are. When you compare them to things, especially like present day Voyagers, for example, here is Voyager Galvatron. It's taller than Galvatron. Actually, Galvatron's just barely taller if you count that little horn on his head. If you don't count the horns on his head, the VAHKI is a lot taller, which is kind of funny. Granted, he is not standing to his full height. The VAHKI is, but still. That's kind of crazy. Originally, what would have been $7, $9 versus something now that is almost $30. Granted, this doesn't do nearly as much as Galvatron does, but it is still crazy the size difference between the two. So we're trying to get Galvatron to stand. Here he is with just the Deluxe Class Chrome Dome. As you can see, they tower over Deluxe Class Transformers. And with a random Gundam size comparison, because they're pretty much just Deluxe size, the Uwashi Akatsuki Gundam, which is my nice shiny gold Gundam. So just to get a sense of scale about how big these guys are, which they're pretty big. So we're going to come in and take a look at the details. Of course, this is Zadok. This is Zadok with the Staffs of Suggestion. This is what the Staff of Suggestion looks like. It's just kind of like a double hook thing. It's kind of weird. They don't, the VAHKI don't have any elemental powers at all. They just color schemed to be whatever district they're usually in. Like this guy would be in Pometru, and then the white one would be in Kometru and stuff like that. That's just a color coding, probably more of a camouflage sort of thing. But anyways, coming and taking a look at the head, you can see they all have identical builds. The only difference between their builds is the staffs, and that is it. They all have the exact same parts count. Other than that, when you come in and look at their heads, they all have standard gray and main color schemes, which gives them a very nice robotic feel to them. The only one that doesn't really work for this color scheme is probably Kirok, just because of the white. But that's just me. They all have the exact same heads, of course, with different colored heads here. A lot of people don't really like the mantle. A lot of people think that the mantle contrasts too much with the bodies. I think it looks really well, especially on Zadok and Kirok. It looks really, really well, and it looks really good on Nurok as well. But I think it works on all of them, actually. For me, anyways. I think it fits them perfectly fine, and you can swap them around if you really wanted to make them make a little bit more sense. But so it's pretty cool. You can kind of pinch their jaws. I mean, they have the little squeeze triggers back here. You can just use the ones up here. Other than that, they don't really do much. It is at a weird joint here. As you can see, like where the neck joint is all the way up to the front. So they cannot look up any further than that. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get the articulation out of the way. Can't look up any further than that. They can look side to side about that much. If you tilt the head up, it will start to rotate all the way fully. It's just because this mantelpiece gets caught on everything, so it works pretty well. They can look all the way down, which is mainly used to store them into their container, but they can look all the way down. They do have this piece of articulation right here, which is more for their action feature, which for all of my VAHKI, I did make a modification to them. Originally, they're supposed to have frictionless pins. Right there, you can see the blue pin. It's supposed to be a frictionless tan one, but that makes this whole rotation right here really, really floppy. I just switched it out for the standard blue ones because you don't really ever see it at all. And that just makes it towards a lot more solid so they can actually hold a pose unless you shake them around. The arms here are on a ball joint, so you can move those around all over the place. They can go up, they can go in and out. It's just basically just limited to the fact they don't have an elbow, they don't have a wrist, and going forward and backward is only going to go about that far. But really, they don't really need forward and backward articulation for these kind of guys. The side-to-side articulation is really what you're going to need just because the type of weapon they have, which are like, they call them staves, but these are more like, I don't even know what you would really call these. They're more like blades than anything, even though some of them don't even have blades. It's like 2 claws, 2 blades, and then whatever this thing is, and then a jackhammer. So I don't really know. I guess they technically are stabs in a way, but nothing at the waist, because pretty much no Bionicles ever have anything at the waist. The legs are on a ball joint. They will go really high up. They will go really far back. He has a really, really good knee bend there, and the ankles are on a ball joint with some pretty good ankle tilt, full degree of rotation. The ankle will go that far up. We'll go point all the way down. So these guys have some really, really good articulation going on for them. So you can get these guys in some pretty cool poses very, very easily. It's not that hard to get these guys into some really neat poses. Now, all of my VAHKI don't have their Kanoka discs, which is why their mouth is shaped the way that it is to launch these little glow-in-the-dark discs that all the sets came from the Metro Newly sets. They all came with. But I do have a disc because I do have Nidiki as well. He will probably be the next review. But the discs are basically just these little plastic discs and they will all have some kind of picture and a specific code to the set. Of course, Nadiki, I'll take a look more like this, but the number would be different for Zadok right here. It wouldn't be 638. It would be some specific number to Zadok. Same thing with Kirok and all of them. They would all have their own specific numbers on their disc. I do believe the pictures could be different on each one of the VAHKI. Don't quote me on that. I don't actually know. Also, the reason why I'm doing Zadok here for the majority of the review is just because when I was a kid, the first VAHKI that I ever got was a Zadok. So, actually, it was the only VAHKI I ever got. And so it's just a nostalgia sort of thing. But you can just plug that right in there into his mouth, and that little nub right there will hold the disc into place, so you don't have to worry about it falling out. It will flop around, but you don't have to worry about it falling out of his mouth. And to fire it, you can squeeze these right here, or you can squeeze the mandibles up here. You're supposed to squeeze the ones back here, and you can aim his head or wherever you want to shoot. And I didn't even mean to fire that. That was a complete misfire. And you can, there you go. You can fire the disc off and probably never see it again. But it's a really cool feature as one of their attack features. The other feature that they have is you can just kind of put their arms in whatever pose you want. And if you come to the back over here, there's this little knob. And this knob will activate their action feature, which is they can move their arms back and forth like that. Although if you do it too hard like I'm doing, you're going to make the joints really, really loose. So I just recommend being careful with it, which probably why a lot of VAHKI and Rahkshi alike, because this feature is pretty much what the Rahkshi had as well. It will eventually make these weapons right here, the stabs, go flying out of their hands just because you're banging it up against each other. You could damage the mantle, and you could damage the other plastic pieces going around in here. So just, I wouldn't recommend doing it crazy like it's meant to be played with, just because over time you will damage it, of course. But then again, Bionicle are extremely durable, especially the older ones and the newest ones that had come out and then were canceled. They're pretty durable. They're pretty durable. So, I just say be careful with it, and that's pretty much it. So we're gonna move him off to the side and move on to the next part of the review, who we are going to use Nurok for, just because I want to, because he looks really cool. My favorite looking one is probably Rorzok, which is the black one. But so we're taking a look at the staves of command, which do look pretty cool. I do really like these. I think my favorite one for staves, anyways, is probably Kirok, just because they're like saw blades or razor blades, so they're pretty cool. But I wanted to show you guys this guy because of the. Actually, I think I did two parts in one section. Oh well. Well, I want to show you guys the transformation for these guys, because they do have their standard bipedal mode, which is how you see them right now, and they also have a quadrupedal mode, which is also really cool. To transform them, what you're going to do is just kind of move the arms out of the way so you can grab the head. You're going to grab the head, point it down, and rotate it so that way it is pointing up into the sky like so. You're going to rotate him around so that way the top of the VAHKI is facing to the front now. And come into here, rotate the arms so that they are now pointing down, just like that. And then come to the back, bend the legs, and bend the feet so that the foot lines up with that little piece jutting out of the back right there. Just like that. And bend the knees. And now you have a VAHKI in their faster four-legged mode, which is what they used. Similar to how the Bohrok would roll up into a ball and roll around, these guys would crawl on all fours just like this to climb up walls and to run faster after things that were moving a little bit too fast for them on two legs to catch, just because I'm sure their large staves probably made it pretty hard for them to run around. But it's a pretty cool mode. I do quite like it. It makes for a really cool display piece. They have the exact same articulation as before. The action feature there does provide more articulation, and then the ball joints everywhere else. So very, very cool. I do quite like it in their little four-legged mode. But so there's the transformation, and there's that. So just for another quick size comparison, it does make them quite a bit shorter, but they do take up a lot more surface area, so it's pretty cool. Also, none of them have any articulation in their stabs. The claws here don't open and close. They're just stuck in that fixed position right there. So that is, I guess it's kind of a bummer. It would have been cool if they could open and close, but oh well. So setting them up to the side. Now we're just gonna take a look at the staves. So here we have Vorzok with these staves of erasing, which basically are the ones that make you forget everything and you just become an empty shell or a zombie. So these are kind of like some grass clippers. It's kind of what they look like, hedge trimmers. You can see they got some pistons and some pretty nice looking detail on the hook back there. These are if you've ever seen the Metro Nui movie, these are the stabs that the VAHKI used in that movie. They just used them the other way around. And also the only ones you saw were the Zadok, and I think you saw Bordok in the movies. I think it was just those two, and they all used that staff right there, the staff of erasing, which was kind of weird, but still pretty cool though. So you can see how he looks. The red and green look really good together on him. So, and then bringing in Kirok and taking a look at his stabs, which are my favorite of all the stabs. So you can see right there, I'm assuming that this would probably be on a hinge so that blade can move up and down to serve as like a fake elbow sort of joint. You can see some more pointless kind of piston details and stuff going on in there, and another smaller little blade right there, which is pretty cool, probably used for cutting rope or whatever. So these are pretty cool. These can be used for a lot of different things, for really cool mocks and whatnot. So that's pretty neat. And then bringing in Rorzok and the stabs of presence. They're basically just a jackhammer. You can see this would probably be a piston going in and out, and it's got some hinges and stuff right there to hold it in place. Got some tubing on the back there. It's just like a claw of some sort. Get some kind of power mining tool, which these are pretty cool. They definitely do suit the type that this is supposed to be in. I'm sure getting hit by one of these probably does not feel very good at all. It'd be similar to that one Hulkbuster scene from Age of Ultron, so that's pretty cool. And then coming to Bordok, who probably has the least interesting hook, or least interesting little weapons here. Next to, of course, Zadok, because I mean Zadoks aren't really all that interesting either. But these pieces have been used so many times. The only other pieces that I know have been reused have been this one. I mean, it's used in Kreka. It's one of his hands, I believe. And these pieces have been used so many times at different kinds of legs and different like things like that in vehicles. I believe what's his name? Vizon. I think he used these for that little monster guy that he rides around. Which they're still really cool looking pieces. They've just been used quite a bit. Mystica, the whole line of Mystica used these a few times, I believe. But they're still really cool looking, and I think this was the first kit they were introduced. I don't remember if the Parako came before or after the VAHKI. I want to say they came after. I'm pretty sure they probably came after, so I think that these were just carried over onto then. But they do make really good claws and spike weapons, and these guys, I think he's probably one of the best looking ones in the quadrupedal mode. If I had to say, out of all the VAHKI, my least favorite is probably Bordok, just because the darker blue is really, really close to almost black colored. So it kind of makes it difficult to really tell that it's supposed to be a water type sort of thing. It's still really cool looking though, so it does match the whole Metro Nui color scheme. Also forgot to mention that the legs do go really, really far outward. And they don't really have any kind of rotation depending on where the leg is. So that's kind of weird. And then of course they do have the little pivoting right there. So the VAHKI are very, very cool. I got these for a pretty good price. For all 6 VAHKI, they all came together. The guy was on eBay, so you could probably find them pretty easily. He does sell the Toa, and he sells a few Borok and whatnot as well. His name is Andrehan 4 or Andrehan 5, something like that. If you can find him, it's pretty easy. Just look up whatever Bionicle figure you're wanting. The picture on eBay when you find him is just a white background with whatever figure you're looking for displayed in the picture. So very cool. He does sell the VAHKI each a piece for like $7, and then shipping's like $3. So about $10 for each VAHKI, and if you bought them all together, it was like $50. So you mean you're basically almost getting one for free. So it was a really good price, really good deal. And he's really cool about it because my Zadok, because he does say all the pieces are inspected and washed and clean. Anything that's broken is removed, so whatnot. They don't come with their boxes or instructions or Kanoka disc, which is unfortunate, but I don't really care about either of those things except for the boxes. I did want the boxes, but I'll just get those another time. But my my Zadok has a cracked neck. You can see there's a little hairline fracture going on in the neck piece. And the seller, Andre Han, he was really cool because I told him about it. And then I also have a problem with Nirok dropping his stabs. They aren't doing it now, but his stabs he likes to drop quite a bit. But that's just the thing with old Bionicle pieces. Sometimes they're loose, sometimes they're super tight. But this piece was cracked and the stabs are dropping, and Andre Han was really cool about it, and he's going to be sending me a new upper torso piece for Zadok here, so that way that will be fixed. And he's going to be sending me some new arm pieces as well as new stabs for Nirok, so that way the problem with these will be stopped. So make sure you go and check him out. I'm not being sponsored by him or anything. I'm just wanting to give him a little bit of a shout out just because he's a really cool guy, and these things arrived really, really quickly. Like, the shipping was ridiculous on how fast these guys arrived. I ordered these, I think, Wednesday, and today's, what, Friday? No, I ordered these Monday, and they got here 2 days ago. So they came really, really quickly. A lot quicker than I thought they would. I thought they were going to take a while. So I'm really looking forward to the other things I've ordered from him. I have ordered the Borok from him. I ordered the Borok from him. I think the Borok and the VAHKI were the only things I ordered from him. I might have ordered some of the Rakshi from him. I don't really remember if I did or didn't, though. So that'll be really cool. I've got one more Rakshi coming in, and once I get that last Rakshi coming in, we're going to review those 6. I've got Nadiki. I'm going to review him. He's going to be my next review, which actually, I'll set off the VAHKI real quick, and I'll bring in Nadiki. This will be the next figure that I review. And then after that, Kreka, he's going to be coming in the mail. I've basically just been I've been taking a break from Lego, as I said in my previous review. I've been taking a break from Transformers just because they're getting pretty expensive to buy all the time. There's not really many figures out that I want anyways. But, so I've been buying childhood Bionicle that I wanted ever since I was a little kid. Like Nadiki here, he was one that I really, really wanted as a kid. So I finally bought him and built him, and he's no disappointment whatsoever. So he will be the next review. Maybe I'll review him next week on Monday, maybe Tuesday. Just depends on who gets in the mail. I've got Kreka coming in. Kreka's going to be reviewed as well, so that'll be coming in. Once my last Rakshi comes in, I'm reviewing them. Once all my 6 Borok come in, I'm reviewing them as well. And that's pretty much it. So guys, I am Shockwave640, and these were the VAHKI. So, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to check out Andre Han on eBay, and if you like Bionicle and stuff, you can get some stuff from him. Let's get something in the screen. But yeah, guys, so these were the VAHKI. They're really cool figures. I definitely do recommend them. A lot of people say they're pretty plain. A lot of people don't like them. Even the creator of Bionicle said that they were his least favorite characters. But I think they were really cool. So I'll be seeing you later, my little Logicons. Thank you so much for watching. Peace!